Picture this: a dark, windswept night in 1932. You tuck your toddler into his crib, kiss his forehead, and close the door. Hours later, you return to an empty bed, a chilling ransom note in its place. This was no nightmare. This was the gut-wrenching reality for Charles Lindbergh, America's golden hero, when his baby was ripped from their home, igniting a manhunt that shook the world. Welcome to the Lindbergh Kidnapping, the crime of the century, a saga of betrayal, desperation, and a nation on edge. The night of March 1, 1932, was bone-chilling in Hopewell, New Jersey, a quiet rural haven far from the city's roar. Charles Lindbergh, the daring aviator who conquered the Atlantic solo, lived here with his wife, Anne Morrow Lindbergh, and their 20-month-old son, Charles Jr. His 1927 flight made him a god among men, a symbol of American triumph. But that night, their sanctuary became a house of horrors. At 10 p.m., Anne and nursemaid Betty Gow checked on little Charlie, his tiny chest rising in sleep, safe, secure, unseen in the shadows. A rickety ladder leaned against the house, a silent redditor waiting. Police flooded the estate, local cops. Then New Jersey State Police under Colonel H. Norman Schwarzkopf, a name destined for history. Chaos reigned. Muddy footprints led to the ladder, its rung snapped under weight. The ransom note, sloppy and misspelled, taunted them. No fingerprints. The ladders were traced to a nearby mill. Useless. News exploded, a tidal wave of headlines. Reporters swarmed, trampling clues, while telegrams of sympathy and crackpot tips boarded. President Hoover demanded action, pulling the Bureau of Investigation, the FBI's early shadow, into the fray. The nation held its breath. The note warned against publicity, but the world was watching. Lindbergh, desperate, took the helm. A second note upped the ransom to $70,000, naming a mediator. Enter Dr. John F. Condon, a quirky Bronx schoolteacher turned volunteer, codenamed Jafsie. He placed cryptic newspaper ads, signaling the kidnappers. After tense back and forth, a meeting was set in a shadowy Bronx cemetery. April 2, 1932, Lindbergh waited in a car, pulse racing, as Condon faced a figure in the gloom, a man with a thick German accent. Cemetery John. He handed over Charlie's tiny sleeping suit, proof of life, and pocketed $50,000 in marked gold certificates, their serial numbers etched in FBI ledgers. He promised the boy was on a boat off Massachusetts. Lindbergh soared over the coast in his plane, eyes burning, searching. No boat, no baby. Hope crumbled. May 12, 1932, a truck driver stopped near the Lindbergh estate, 4 miles away, and stumbled on a shallow grave, a tiny, broken body. Charlie's skull shattered dead within hours of the kidnapping. Anne collapsed, sobbing. Charles's stoic mask hid a father's agony. The nation reeled, grief mixing with rage. The case wasn't about rescue anymore, it was about vengeance. The FBI, led by a relentless J. Edgar Hoover, doubled down. Gold certificates, now being phased out, were their best shot. Every bank, every shop was on alert for the marked bills. For 2 agonizing years, leads fizzled. False confessions, dead ends, and wild theories mob hits. Family betrayal clogged the case. Then, September 15, 1934, a Bronx gas station attendant eyed a $10 gold certificate. Suspicious. He jotted the customer's license plate. That plate led to Bruno Richard Hauptmann, a 34-year-old German carpenter with cold eyes and a secret. Hauptmann's arrest was electric. FBI agents tore through his Bronx garage, finding $13,750 in ransom bills stashed in a wooden box. His handwriting mirrored the ransom note's jagged scroll. A phone number tied to Condon was scratched in his closet. He spun a flimsy tale. The money came from a dead friend, Isidore Fish, but the noose tightened. A plank from his attic matched the ladder's wood, grain for grain. His tools fit the ladder's cuts. He'd quit his job, post-ransom splashing cash on cars and furs. The FBI's forensic sorcery handwriting, wood analysis, financial trails was a masterclass, cutting edge for 1935. January 2, 1935, Flemington, New Jersey. The trial of the century began. Hauptmann, steely and defiant, faced murder and kidnapping charges. Crowds mobbed the courthouse. Radios broadcast every word. 8 handwriting experts swore his writing matched the notes. Lindbergh took the stand, his voice steady, pointing at Hauptmann. That cemetery John. The defense flailed, blaming Fish, crying tainted evidence, but Hauptmann's lies collapsed. Why the hidden cash? Why Condon's number? The jury deliberated. Their verdict swift. Guilty. February 13, 1935. Death sentence. Appeals burned out. On April 3, 1936, Hauptmann fried in the electric chair, proclaiming innocence to his last breath. The crowd outside roared, but the story didn't die. Whispers of conspiracy grew louder. Was Hauptmann a patsy for a bigger plot? Suspicion fell on the Lindbergh staff, Betty Gow, the nursemaid Violet Sharp, a maid who killed herself under questioning mob ties, a family cover-up. Hauptmann's widow Anna fought for decades, screaming frame-up, pointing to shaky forensics. Modern experts poke holes in the ladder evidence, but Hauptmann's hands were dirty cash handwriting. Lies. Was he alone? The child's quick death baffled. Why kill so soon? The FBI's files, thousands of pages released over decades, hint at shadows and traced calls, uncaught accomplices. The truth stays just out of reach. The Lindbergh case rewrote history. The Federal Kidnapping Act of 1932 was born, giving the FBI teeth to chase cross-state abductors. Forensics leaped forward. Handwriting, material tracing, money tracking became FBI staples. Media was a double-edged sword. It helped spot the ransom cash but leaked secrets, muddying the hunt for America. It was a gut punch. If Lindbergh, a demigod, could lose his child, no one was safe. Charles and Anne fled to Europe, scarred, hounded by fame's cruel spotlight. Their tragedy birthed a legacy of law and loss. This case burns in our psyche. Podcasts dissect it. Films dramatize it. Books chase its ghosts. The FBI's grid-sifting clues, hunting a phantom set a standard, even as doubts linger. Hauptmann likely did it, but the full story? It's buried with Charlie, a wound that never healed. The crime of the century isn't just a case, it's a mirror to a nation's fear, a father's despair, and a system racing to catch a killer before the next nightmare strikes.